Advisor Committee, at that time it was called Genetically Approval Committee, had called a few of us for a public data, and I was part of the data. I still remember when the crop was about to be approved, I raised this question that if you look at all your research data, the research data was scientifically flawed. It was completely a scientific scandal, and yet the government of India went and was wanting to approve it. And it was because of the pressure that four of us who were there in the committee put the government delayed that process by 1 year, asking Monsanto to do another year of research. Anyway, it got approved in 2004. The argument is that pesticide usage should have come down. First of all, we need to know that 50% of the total pesticides used in India are only used on cotton. So cotton is the most important crop which sustains the pesticide industry. If we were to stop using the pesticides on cotton, the pesticide industry of India collapses. And I'm sure you'll agree, no industry wants it to be collapsed. In any case, the GDP will go down if the pesticide industry goes down. And Montek Singh Ahluwalia would never like that. So what happened in this particular case is, in 2006, it was known that 70% of the cotton in India was BT cotton. Today, 92% of the cotton area in India is of BT cotton. So 50% pesticides are used in cotton, so therefore you will agree the consumption of pesticides should have come down. Common sense tells us that the majority use is on cotton, cotton में BT cotton आ गया, so therefore pesticide uses तो खत्म होना चाहिए. But on the contrary, pesticide use has gone up. In 2006, the pesticide use in India was on cotton only was 600 crores worth of pesticides. In 2008, it has become 800 crores. In 2009, it has become 900 crores is the pesticide usage. So what has happened is your seed cost is being borne by the farmers now, it is expensive. Then now the pesticide cost is also being added to the farmers. So the companies are gaining. Companies are selling seed, expensive seed. Companies are also now selling expensive pesticides. So उनके तो पंजाबी में कहते हैं बल्ले बच्चे हो गए. They are gaining from both sides. This year, when we are being told that pesticide usage is going up, production is going up, in Maharashtra, which is the main center, one of the main centers for cotton, the production this year has fallen by 40% in Maharashtra alone in cotton. And your 90%, 95% area is under BT cotton, which means BT cotton has failed this year in Maharashtra. The total loss that your state government has assessed in Maharashtra is 6,000 crores of the cotton farmers. Last year, the loss was 4,000 crores. The government compensated by providing 2,000 crores relief to the farmers. This year, the loss is 6,000 crores. So the government is now going to compensate whatever. We'll see what happens in the next 2 days. My argument is, why should the government compensate? Because government means you and me, taxpayers' money. Why should the company be asked to compensate the farmers? Why should, we as taxpayers should be paying that money? Why can't we ask Monsanto or Myco to pay 6,000 crores to the farmers? This is a clever move that, the companies make profits and the socialization.
Myco is a subsidiary of Monsanto.
Yeah, Myco is a subsidiary of Monsanto. Myco is a Maharashtrian firm, so it's very popular here. So the MAHYCO, Myco is the restaurant. So it's very clear that the pesticide usage, the production is also now going down. So on all fronts, this crop is crumbling. The argument further is that in the days to come, the genetically modified crops, they have not been able to raise production. So now the argument is, it will not address the issue of hunger, but it will address the issue of hidden hunger. Hidden hunger is your micronutrient deficiency. Vitamin A deficiency, calcium deficiency, magnesium deficiency in your body. So we have a crop called golden rice. It is being introduced in India. Golden rice is a product, is a rice basically. What they have done is they have taken a gene from a daffodil flower and moved into rice. Now this means the beta carotene in the rice goes up. Beta carotene is the precursor for vitamin A. The argument is कि farmers को जब vitamin A वाला rice मिलेगा तो उसकी malnutrition जो है वो एड्रेस हो जाएगा. Interestingly, in India they are saying we are providing farmers choices. In India, 82 million tons of rice that is lying in 82 million tons of food, wheat and rice that is lying in the stocks has about 30 million tons of rice. The poor people are hungry. Those who are hungry are staring at the food stocks lying in the godowns. Given a choice, they don't need vitamin A. Vitamin A rice? What they need is the rice that is. If you were to feed poor people, there would have been no need for micronutrient chemistries. The 320 million people who are living in hunger in India actually are living in hunger because India is, the surplus that India has is what is called as hunger surplus. It is depriving the poor of the food to build up that surplus. But if you are providing that food to the poor, there would have been no malnutrition in the first instance. So we are very clever. We are trying to justify in the name of malnutrition that these crops can come in. Another crop that Indian scientists have produced is very interesting. It is called Protato. Protato, P-R-O-T-A-T-O. It is combination of protein and potato. So it becomes Protato. This is being developed at the Jawaharlal Nehru University. I remember when I was a journalist, and this is talking of the 80s, the scientists then had produced a crop not by genetic engineering but by crossing. It was called Pomato. Pomato means potato and tomato. So they had crossed. The idea was that the upper plant would be tomato, and in down below the soil you will have potato. It looks very nice, attractive. You all feel excited. But actually what nature gave was just the opposite. ऊपर तो हुए आलू के पत्ते और नीचे हुए टमाटर की roots. This is how nature does it. And I remember, George Bernard Shaw. I'm sorry I'm taking a minute of yours to explain this. George Bernard Shaw was one of the ugliest of the personalities in the world. He himself used to say. There was a film actress called Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth walked up to George Bernard Shaw saying, "George, if I was to marry you, I feel like marrying you because we will have a wonderful progeny with your brain and my beauty." He said, "Ma'am, I'm worried. If they have your brain and my beauty, what will happen?" So, the nature was actually always doing it like this. Nature always, but genetic engineering actually gives you a provision where you can cross at the molecular level. Now, in this case of Protato, it is very interesting. Our Secretary Environment Biotechnology went to France and made a statement that we are now going to address malnutrition. India is the largest population of malnutrition in the world. We have produced a potato which is a crop which is every crop. हर एक चीज़ में आप आलू की सब्जी जहाँ मर्जी डाल दो, तो आलू खाएंगे लोग प्रोटीन वाला, तो उससे malnutrition खत्म होगी. और उन्होंने ये कहा कि हमने 30% प्रोटीन जो है आलू में बढ़ा दिया. But the problem is nobody asked you what is the protein percentage in potato. The protein percentage in protein जो normal आप आलू देखें उसमें 1.6% is the protein percent. अगर आपने 30% बढ़ा दिया है, it does not mean the protein percentage goes to 30%. It actually means 30% of what exists in the potato crop has been enhanced. So which means आपने उसको 1.6 से 2 कर दिया. 2% कर दिया तो उस पर इतनी एक्साइटमेंट कि इंडिया का malnutrition सॉल्व हो जाएगा. और जो इंडिया का जो 82 मिलियन टन wheat and rice पड़ा है, average protein in the wheat that is stocked is about 9 to 10%. The average protein in the rice that is stocked is 6 to 7%. 2% से आप malnutrition हटा दोगे, जो 9 और 10% का wheat पड़ा है, उससे nobody is talking about removing hunger as well as hidden hunger, including malnutrition. So it is very clear the political economy of genetically modified crops is something which needs to be, is very exciting in the sense you need to understand as to where the world is driving us. We were told when we were fighting the battle on BT brinjal. BT brinjal was the first food crop that was to be introduced. You all know in 2010, Mr. Jairam Ramesh has imposed a moratorium on BT brinjal. Scientists हमें blame करते हैं, and I also come from the same science. I have done my genetics and plant breeding. And we are told that for LP development, you don't want the country. BT, as he says, many of us may not know, BT is the name of a bacteria in the soil. नाम बड़ा है Bacillus thuringiensis, लेकिन BT is the name of, let's say in short, it is a soil bacteria. उससे एक जीन निकाल लिया, जीन को प्लांट में डाल, वो प्लांट के अंदर जहर पैदा करता है. जब उसको एक पर्टिकुलर कीड़ा खाता है, तो वो कीड़ा मर जाता है. That is how BT cotton is. So BT brinjal में the idea was कि same plant will produce जहर, पॉइजन अपना प्रोड्यूस करेगा, उसको जो बोरन खाएगा जो इंसेक्ट है, तो उसको खाने के बाद वो बोरन बनता है। और हमें ये बोला गया कि ये बिल्कुल सेफ है। क्यों? उन्होंने 90 डेज के ट्रायल किए हैं चूहों में। So whenever you want to test it on human beings or feed human beings, you have to try on the smallest of the mammals, that is rats. तो rats के ऊपर 90 डेज के ट्रायल्स होते हैं। और ये मैंने हर बार सोचा कि 90 डेज के ट्रायल क्यों होते हैं? चूहे का जो लाइफ स्पैन है वो 2 साल का होता है। 90 डेज जो चूहे के होते हैं that corresponds to 24 years of human life. तो साइंटिस्टों का कहना है कि 24 ईयर हमने कवर कर लिए, 24 ईयर्स में कुछ नहीं होता, तो हमें डरने की जरूरत नहीं। बट मेरा ये मानना है कि 2 साल इज इक्वल टू 75 ईयर्स ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ। व्हाई कांट वी कंडक्ट ट्रायल्स फॉर 2 years to know what will happen in 75? But now a scientist, Gerard Seralini of France, he has done a research, and if very shine, you can bring the posters, I will show you. उन्होंने 2 साल चूहों पर ट्रायल किया, and I think you all need to see. 2 साल चूहों पर ट्रायल किया, 90 दिन में कुछ नहीं उस पर इफेक्ट होता, चूहास look normal. But in 2 years what happens is the rats actually develop massive tumors, and I think you will need to seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Look at these rats. Just see the tumors. Just see, this is the animal's health after 2 years of trials. 2 years of being fed a genetically modified corn. Genetically modified maize fed in France, चूहों के ऊपर 2 साल में आप ये देखें, उनके जो ट्यूमर्स हैं 70% इंक्रीज इन दिस साइज ऑफ ट्यूमर्स। देख रहे हैं आप? फीमेल में मेमोरी ट्यूमर्स कभी इतने देखे नहीं गए, मेमोरी ग्लैंड के ट्यूमर्स आपके इस साइड पे दिखाई देंगे आपको। एंड देन the fatalities, the mortality rate of these rats was phenomenal. कभी देखा नहीं गया कि इतने चूहे मर जाएं। So we have these kinds of diseases coming up to the rats, pituitary glands के, kidney के, all problems were there of the body organs. लेकिन primarily what we can see are the tumors here. Now this is the level to what damage can be done in the rats. और ये अगर rats में हो सकता है, तो this is what you and me are going to be fed, and so obviously you can see what will happen. So it requires a generation to understand what are going to be the impact on your human body. ये सोचना कि 2 दिन हमने खा लिया तो इसका कोई इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ता, ये बिल्कुल गलत है। अगर आप 3-4 दिन सिगरेट पीते हैं तो आपको कैंसर नहीं होता, लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि अगर आप सारी लाइफ टाइम सिगरेट पीते हैं तब आपको कैंसर होते हैं, और कैंसर इसलिए बंद किया जा रहा है सिगरेट को ताकि कैंसर का प्रॉब्लम न आए। सो हियर इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम दैट वी मस्ट लुक इनटू इट, हाउ इट इम्पैक्ट्स दिस थिंग। लेकिन जैसे ही रिपोर्ट ये आई, इट वाज अ वेरी डिस्टिंग्विश्ड जर्नल व्हिच कैरिड दिस रिपोर्ट, दैट साइंटिस्ट वर अप इन आर्म्स ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड saying this report is not scientific. जो चूहे थे वो चूहे गलत स्पीसीज के थे, यही चूहे थे जो मॉन्सेंटो के ट्रायल्स में भी प्रयोग होते हैं। These are the same rats, same species which were tried in Monsanto trials, लेकिन nobody took it. But when they were tried in the rats independent study, they were considered to be something which is not unscientific. The interesting part here is इस स्टडी के ऊपर पैसा कितना खर्च हुआ। That's where the bigger question lies. You know, इस स्टडी के ऊपर $10 million were spent. Now the question here is, where in the world universities have got the money to do the negative test? So that is why nobody is doing the negative test. इंडिया में किसी यूनिवर्सिटी के पास इतना पैसा नहीं, सरकार के पास पैसा नहीं, तो सरकार क्यों देगी? तो सिर्फ लोग जो हैं कंपनीज के डाटा को ही मान के आगे चल रहे हैं। सिर्फ बीटी ब्रिंजल में entire data was provided by the company. In case of BT cotton, the entire data was provided by the Monsanto. Monsanto incidentally has, Monsanto has spent 60 crores on the trials that it did on the case of BT cotton. तो उसको तो obviously अपना money recover करना है. So they were very keen to do it. Similarly in the case of BT brinjal also, now there is a moratorium. But in the meanwhile, 74 crops are being researched. Research laboratory में चल रही है. Now what we are saying, एज ए ग्रुप हमारा, अगर आप जानते हैं, कोलिशन फॉर GM फ्री इंडिया है कंट्री वाइड, जिसने ये बीटी ब्रिंजल का बैन भी उसके करके हुआ है। हमारा कहना ये है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जो केस चल रहा है, हम लोग का केस भी है उसमें हमारा कहना ये है कि एक टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट कमेटी का गठन किया जाए, जो सरकार ने गठन किया। उस कमेटी की रिकमेंडेशन ये आई है अभी इंटरिम कि फील्ड ट्रायल्स जो हो रहे हैं, फील्ड ट्रायल्स मतलब जब आप इनको लेबॉर्ट्री से लेके क्रॉप्स के फील्ड्स में करते हैं तो उससे भी जो है कंटेमिनेशन होता है। तो वो कंटेमिनेशन को रोकने के लिए ये कहा गया कि फील्ड ट्रायल्स नहीं किए जाए ओपन में, लेबोरेटरी में ही रखा जाए। तो कमेटी की रिपोर्ट आ गई है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट उस पर लगा हुआ है, उस पर अगला हियरिंग होगी, उसमें देखा जाएगा। और पार्लियामेंट ने एक कमेटी गठन की थी, स्टैंडिंग एडवाइजरी कमेटी, दैट वेंट अराउंड द कंट्री। उन्होंने भी ये कहा है कि फील्ड क्रैश नहीं होने चाहिए क्योंकि जीन्स जो है वो फ्लो करती है। इन केस ऑफ कॉटन कंपनियां कहती हैं कि सिर्फ 1.5 मीटर जीन फ्लो करता है, और अब दुनिया ये मानती है कि जो कॉटन का जीन है वो 20 किलोमीटर तक फ्लाई कर सकता है। तो 20 किलोमीटर जब फ्लाई करता है तो कौन सी क्रॉप में जाके वो फिक्स हो जाएगा, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट लाइक ए केमिकल, इट इज़ अ लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म। वहाँ जाके वो अपना काम शुरू करता है। इसीलिए अमेरिका में आज सबसे बड़ा एनवायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम जो क्रिएट हो गया है, इट इज़ कॉल्ड सुपर बीट्स। सुपर बीट्स आर दोज बीट्स जिनको अब किसी भी चीज़ से मारना मुश्किल हो, because the genes which were resistant are actually flying and now getting into those crops जहाँ पर वो नहीं होना चाहिए था। Today America has 23 plant species which are called as super beets. An area equal to 20 million hectares in America today is just super beets, उसको control नहीं किया जाता। तो अब जितने भी केमिकल्स दुनिया में बैन हुए थे, इंक्लूडिंग समथिंग कॉल्ड एज 2,4-D, जो सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर में बैन हुआ, उसके बाद उपयोग करके बैन किया गया, उसको दोबारा ला रहे हैं। अब ऐसी क्रॉप्स आ रही हैं जिसमें एक जीन का नहीं 3 जीन हो गए, जिसमें 3 पेस्टिसाइड छिड़कने पड़ेंगे आपको। तो पेस्टिसाइड यूसेज जो है वो और बढ़े। तो फूड सिक्योरिटी के नाम पर वी आर नाउ ट्राइंग टू डू मोर डैमेज टू एनवायरमेंट, मोर डैमेज टू ह्यूमन हेल्थ। और अंत में मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा, देन वी गो ओपन फॉर डिस्कशंस, कि इन सब चीज़ों से क्या फ़ायदा होता है। आज हमारी कंट्री में जीडीपी इज द टचस्टोन टू डेवलपमेंट। हम ये मान के चलते हैं कि जितनी जीडीपी हमारी बढ़ेगी उतनी हमारी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होगी, उतनी गरीबी घटेगी, उतनी पॉवर्टी कम होगी। पर अफसोस ये है, मैं दुनिया अपने देश के अलग अलग इंस्टीट्यूट में जाके जब मैं बोलता हूँ, इंक्लूडिंग जब मैं टेलीविज़न पे ही बोलता हूँ, मेरा ये मानना है कि मेरे पत्रकार दोस्तों को मैं वहीं से आता हूँ, हमें ये नहीं पता कि व्हाट इज जीडीपी। जीडीपी जिस तरीके से वर्कआउट की जाती है, उसको अगर हम समझने की कोशिश करें तो मैं नक्शल में अगर बताऊं, अगर एक पेड़ खड़ा है तो जीडीपी नहीं बढ़ती, अगर आप उस पेड़ को काट देते हैं तो जीडीपी बढ़ती। तो इट इज़ द अमाउंट ऑफ मनी विच एक्सचेंज हैंड्स। अगर आप कार खरीदते हैं तो कंट्री की जीडीपी बढ़ती है। अगर आप फूड कंटेमिनेट करते हैं तो फूड की सेल तो बढ़ती है, जीडीपी बढ़ती है। अगर आप फूड की सेल बढ़ाते हैं तो फार्मास्यूटिकल सेल्स बढ़ती है, दवाइयों की सेल बढ़ती है, हेल्थ एंड मेडिकल इंडस्ट्रीज की ग्रोथ होती है तो जीडीपी बढ़ती है। जब हेल्थ एंड मेडिकल इंडस्ट्री की ग्रोथ होती है तो इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री की भी ग्रोथ होती है, बिकॉज यू नीड इंश्योरेंस देन। तो इंश्योरेंस की बढ़ता है तो जीडीपी बढ़ती है। सो फॉर द ग्लोबल जीडीपी टू इंक्रीज यू नीड टू कंटेमिनेट फूड एज मच एज पॉसिबल। So what is happening today is insurance industry is pumping out $2 billion into the stocks of the food industry ताकि food contaminate हो। Otherwise, what business has the insurance company got to do with the food industry? But they are pumping money into the food industry। जितना food contaminate होगा उतना आप और हम बीमार होंगे। हम लोग सब दवाइयों पर जीते हैं आजकल। You know, if you look around, आपके घर में every second man is living on medicine। आजकल तो बच्चा पैदा होता है, उसको डायबिटीज, उसको शुरू से बीमारियां होती हैं, थ्रू ऑल हिज लाइफ ही और शी हैज टू लिव ऑन मेडिसिन। तो इंडस्ट्री जो है वो ग्रो कर रही है, फार्मास्यूटिकल की इंडस्ट्री। सो दिस नेक्सस इज व्हाट विच ड्राइव्स और विच मेक्स द जीडीपी ग्रो। सो दैट इज व्हाई वी सी देयर इज अ ग्लोबल थ्रस्ट ऑन कंटेमिनेटिंग फूड। और हम लोग चाहे नहीं समझते हैं, लेकिन हमारे को कंटेमिनेटेड फूड खाने का मतलब यही है। Everybody is happy with that because I'm sure Montek Singh is desperate now कि 5.5% से हमारी जीडीपी 9% हो जाए। तो वो 9% तभी होगी जितने आप लोग ज़्यादा बीमार होंगे। तो बीमार अगर आप होइए तो आपकी जीडीपी बढ़ती है। तो इसलिए ये सारा कोशिश जो है उस एंगल से है। So we now need to understand whether genetically modified crops actually help in addressing the country's food security. Now your question, which is normal question that asked to me, is what should be the way out there? The way out is very simple. In your neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh, which was once a suicide hotspot, today, at least 8 or 10 years back, one village started or let's say, took a route which was different, and today it has become a kind of a massive mission there in Andhra Pradesh. एक गांव में पन्नुकुला is a village in Khammam district of Andhra Pradesh. The village Pannukula, P-U-N-N-U-K-U-L-A, is a village in the Khammam district of Andhra Pradesh. 6, 7 years, 8 years back, the villagers decided that enough is enough. They stopped using chemical pesticides. Everyone said, your production will go down, everything. They resisted all those things, went into for alternatives. Today you will be surprised, 35 lakh acres in Andhra Pradesh is under no chemical, no pesticide farm. They don't use pesticide at all. 35 acres. All crops they do. 35 lakh acres is in which they don't use chemical pesticides. In 20 lakh acres out of the 35 lakh acres, in 20 lakh acres, they have stopped using even chemical fertilizers. The production has gone up. The number of pesticides have come down, pests have come down. And because pesticides are not being used, environment has become much safer. The health expenses, which is normally 40% of a farmer's income, has crashed now, has come down. And along with it, they have now self-help groups in which the women have formed groups, as a result of which this is the only place in the country where I know of that the poor women have got a corpus fund of 5,000 crores in 35 acres of Andhra Pradesh. This is a model which is now in the hands of the government of Andhra Pradesh. The government of Andhra Pradesh target for next year, 2013, is they will bring 1 million, 35 lakh, 100 lakh acre would be what they are going to do next year. 100 lakh acre में no pesticides, half of it will be no chemical fertilizers. And you will be surprised, there is no nextalism in those villages, and there are no farmer suicides in those villages. Now please tell me, do we have any objection if we extend that model to the rest of the country? We don't want nextalism, we don't want farmer suicides. In the last 15 years, 290,000 farmers have committed suicide. So we want the farmer suicides to stop. We don't want GDP to grow. I'm not interested in GDP. I'm very keen that the farmer should be having a livelihood option, a better livelihood option, and your health and my health should also improve. So it is in the country's food security needs that we don't get crops like genetically modified. We move away from these crops, go into those crops which are basically leading to sustainable agriculture models, lifelong model. That is what exactly we need, whereas we don't turn it to Punjab. In Punjab, since I come from Punjab, people believe that farmers' model, agriculture model in Punjab is the vibrant model, like the vibrant Gujarat. It is the vibrant agriculture of Punjab which is being looked up to. You will be surprised, a report which has come 10 days back from Punjab Agriculture University, it has said every day 2 farmers in Punjab are committing suicide. It is happening in a state which has 95% area under assured irrigation. We are saying Vidarbha farmers are dying because there is no irrigation. But this is an area where 95% area is assured irrigation and yet farmers are dying. So it is not linked only to irrigation that we need to think that the problem lies in irrigation. Problem lies in a complete gamut of kind of agriculture that we are promoting. And it is this connection that I thought we'll talk about genetically modified crops as to how they will accelerate the crisis, the crop accelerate the crisis in the days to come. And if we want to keep watch, go into the alternative that I told you, and incidentally, the model that I gave you in Andhra Pradesh has now become the model which is being showcased to visiting personalities. And Sui, when she came to India, the Burmese, the Myanmar leader, she was taken to those areas by Jairam Ramesh to show them. If you remember, she went to Andhra Pradesh. She went to visit those areas. Okay. Now it is good that our government is now showcasing to the foreign dignitaries. But I would be very happy if the government of India at least takes the chief ministers to those areas to show them this is how agriculture can be done. It is the chief ministers who are, most of them are a problem. So I think it will be better if we take them, all the agriculture scientists, to those areas to at least see them. Seeing is believing. Then they can come and replicate the model instead of only showing it to. You will be surprised, the World Bank under what is called as the NRLM, the National Rural Livelihood Mission. This is a model which is taking exactly the Andhra Pradesh model to the country now, NRLM. The World Bank is pumping 10,000 crores to replicate that across the country. 10,000 crores. So I think we have a model before us. That is a model which does not use genetically modified crops, neither uses chemical pesticides, nor uses fertilizer. I think that is the future for India's food security, health, as well as the livelihood security for the nation. Thank you very much. I think we can have now questions.